Hi everyone, it's Pamela. How are you doing? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, it really helps me. And turn on the notifications, the little bell, to get notified when I make a new video. This video was supposed to be released yesterday. Please forgive me. I worked all day yesterday, and so I thought the quality would be better if I filmed it today. Also, if you hear any noises in the background, it's probably one of my super cute puppies. And I've added past life readings to my website as well, MissPamelaXOXO.com. Please check those out. So, since the Sun, Mercury, Mars, and the North Node are all in Leo, and the Moon was in Leo, it just moved into Virgo. Today, how fitting that I'm going to be doing the Moon in Leo. I have this Moon placement. I'm surrounded by the Leo energy in my life. And people, famous people with the Moon in Leo include Mahatma Gandhi, Julia Roberts, Queen Elizabeth II, King Louis XIV, also known as the Sun King, Shia LaBeouf, Patrick Swayze, Megan Fox, Charlize Theron, Renee Zellweger, to name a few. Oh, Paul McCartney as well. And so I know that I'm missing some people there, but a lot of powerful acting talent in there, as you can see, and leaders. So with this being said, anyone with their Moon in Leo is a natural born leader. In fact, they are most comfortable in the driver's seat. They kind of believe that they know best, and whether that's true or not is up for debate based on, I guess, who you ask in the equation. So, however, though, they are great leaders, so they can make great leaders. The Moon represents our mother. It also represents our spouse in a man's chart, or the spouse in the more masculine person's chart, as I like to say. So with this being said, the mother of this individual was most likely someone who wanted to be in the spotlight, like kind of would take over the spotlight. Maybe if the child was speaking or saying something, the mom would almost kind of explain it for them or speak over them or something like that. Someone who was most likely very much about appearances, very much about, okay, I get it, and now we need to make sure that the show goes on, basically, right? So very much almost like a stage mom, for example, and also could have been someone that took credit or would take credit for their child's accomplishments. And I know that that sounds really bad, but more so like bragging in a way about their children, if that makes sense. Oh yes, that's my child. Something more like that, if that makes sense. Let me know what you think about this, you guys. Let me know. And speaking of which, I find it so interesting because anyone that I know with their Moon in Leo, even if normally they're a bit extroverted, you know, always look at the whole chart too, everyone. Whenever they're around their mom, they're not. They kind of take a little bit of a back seat. So let me know if that's something you guys have noticed too. I'm interested. So what that did for this individual is that in order to have their voice heard, they really learned that they better be very dramatic about it, right? Like, if it's something that's of great importance, they better scream it out to the world and make sure that everybody knows how they feel. They cannot hold it in. It will absolutely come out. And they, when they do this, they have very little, I guess, sensitivity to how someone else will feel about this. They have to get it off of their chest, almost. The other thing with the Moon in Leo is, you know, they don't want you to necessarily solve their problems. even if it seems like something really dramatic and heavy that they're talking about, they most likely just want you to hear them out. And it would help if you also agreed with them. I'm just saying. And these people are usually quite beautiful. Actually, Liam Hemsworth also has his moon in Leo, Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Very good looking people, I would say. Megan Fox, we all know. And so with that being said, they are quite charming, or they can be quite charming. So with that being said, sometimes that charm can be mildly narcissistic, and that depends in its lower energy. In the higher energy, it's very, very loving, very loyal. In relationships, this person loves to be romanced. I mean, romance is what they live for. They want people to dote on them. They want people to treat them like they're special, like they're royalty, like they're beautiful. I would okay, now it's a little tricky because Moon and Leo people are always looking at a person's actions. And even still, they love words of affirmation. They really, really do. So if you're not making your Moon in Leo person feel special and telling them how special they are and treating them that way, and if you're not their equal, like their king or their queen, it probably won't work out. And they will admit this. I mean, they think that it's a beautiful thing to be this way. They think it's a beautiful thing to be someone's queen or king and vice versa. So if you don't like that idea, just find somebody else to date, really. So, and they're all about extremes, extravagance. So they want to have the relationship of a lifetime. You know, they're on this search for this colossal other. And the sun always comes out the next day. So, you know, they never get, although they do get down, you know, when they're upset, they're really upset, watch out, but the sun will always shine again. These people are usually pretty positive. And even if they do flip out at you and have like an emotional display, understand that it probably isn't as serious as you think it is, unless you did something to their pets or children or their little cubs, or you weren't loyal to them, for example, or you didn't treat them like they were special, like almost like they didn't have any value. Those are three things, especially the first two, that they just refuse to deal with. And God help you if you do step on a Leo's paw, because they will get you. And so the other thing is that this represents the spouse in, like I said, a man's chart or the more masculine person's chart. So this represents someone who wants to be taken care of or romance, someone who is valuable, someone who has this value, someone that was like a catch, let's say, or maybe a bit of a chase, someone who has some sort of, maybe knows a lot of people, someone who has some sort of like prestige around them. And it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but maybe they're just very well known. Maybe they have beautiful hair, for example, a beautiful mane, and they might be a little bit noisy or loud, if that makes any sense. And speaking of which, in the bedroom, Moon in Leo individuals really love to feel like they're being catered to. They love that. They love that feeling. And someone with this energy in its highest form will return that back to you. In its lowest form, they will not, and they are actually quite hedonistic, so watch out for that. My advice to anyone with their Moon in Leo is there's two things. First of all, it's forget about what things look like. People with their Moon in Leo, most likely because of that relationship with their mother, are so concerned with how things look. And I know that I have definitely struggled with that in my lifetime as well. So I can speak to that, of what things look like. You know, growing up for me, my mom, for example, God bless her, hi Mom, if you're watching this, was very concerned about appearances and how things looked, even though at home it wasn't like that at all. Out in the open, it was very much about you have to look a certain way, and you know, kind of like almost like putting on a show, right, in a way. And so the sooner that you can get rid of that is the sooner that you can step into your brilliance. I mean, Moon in Leo individuals are leaders, and if you're not leading, you're probably not going to be very happy. If you're not respected or cherished and in the spotlight, you're probably not going to be very happy. Like, these are the performers. These people are great on YouTube and in videos and plays and things like this. And then the second piece of advice is understand what expectations that you put on your giving. Because there's this tendency where if a Moon in Leo wasn't given much attention as a child, in relationships they'll almost take whatever attention they can get. And so now part of it is that Moon in Leo people do date individuals that are a little bit like, what, you're dating that person? They have a very interesting taste. And I think that part of it might be that because they care a lot more about being treated in that way than anything else. And so please keep in mind that when you're giving and giving and giving, especially if you're the more feminine energy person, you know, there's heavy expectations that are most likely attached to that. And so it's not that you're not able to find this perfect mate. It's almost like you're overcompensating in a way, and it's not making other people value you. Because even though it's coming from a beautiful place, that's how it's actually perceived, right? Leos love to give. Like, anyone with a lot of Leo energy that I know actually gets pleasure out of giving to others. And so with Anne wearing their heart on their sleeve and all this kind of stuff. And the thing about it is, you really have to have those strong boundaries if you have a lot of Leo energy in your chart, because not everybody is going to give back. Not everybody is of that reciprocal energy, and you must be aware of that perception, and you must give to yourself first. The other thing is that Moon in Leos tend to get out of things a little bit more easily than other people. Now, this isn't the only sign that gets to slip out a little bit, and it's definitely something I've noticed. So let me know, everybody. These people are also usually they can be quite opinionated. In the very least, they definitely make themselves heard and known. So let me know, do you have your Moon in Leo? Are you in love with a Moon in Leo? I love hearing your feedback. I read all of your comments all the time. All of my readings with you guys have been going amazing. I mean, mind-blowing. And so thank you for all of you who have booked readings with me. I'm so excited. And I love you so, so much, whether it's day or night. I love you, I love you, I love you. And thank you so much for being awesome. Please click here to subscribe. Please click here to check out my recent video. And please click here to check out my website and book a reading with me if you so choose and if you are ready. Thank you. I love you.